In news from Jamaica, police fatal shootings are trending down. The Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, says fatal police shootings dipped below 100 in 2015, which is the lowest occurrence in 16 years. Meanwhile, there were 109 security force-related fatalities recorded in 2015. Of that 109 deaths, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, was responsible for 98. 3 civilians were killed at the hands of the Jamaica Defense Force, JDF. The figure of 109 security force-related fatalities represents a 15.5% decrease in fatalities when compared with 2014, which recorded 129 deaths. According to the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, Kingston and St. Andrew recorded the highest number of fatalities, accounting for 49. St. Catherine was next in line, recording 25, and St. James is next on the list with 10. St. Mary, for the second year in a row, recorded only 1 security forces-related fatality, while St. Anne, which also had only 1 fatality, experienced a major drop from 6 last year. All other parishes recorded single-digit fatalities. But despite an annual reduction in fatalities, planned police operations continue to account for between 35 to 40% of all fatalities. In 2015, there were 37 reported planned operations, where 38 fatal shootings occurred. Commissioner of INDECOM, Terence Williams, says INDECOM is only aware of a fraction of the police operations undertaken each year.
We do not know of all of the planned operations that the police undertake. What we are, the numbers that we give you are those planned operations that result in someone being killed, because those are the only ones that we would know about if somebody is killed or injured. So the point is, I do believe, and certainly so, the JCF must have many more planned operations than these, where nobody is killed or injured. Nevertheless, a planned operation gives the JCF an opportunity to so conduct the operation that death will be minimized. And what we have noticed, and it's explained in the report in great detail, that some of these operations were not planned in a way where risk of death or injury was minimized.
Commissioner Williams adds that many of these operations were not compliant with the policies of the JCF.
Their policies require that there be a written or recorded plan of the operation, which is a way in which one can check against the plan to see whether there was indeed this attempt to reduce risk to life. Far too many, the vast majority, continue to have no recorded plans. Something that we continue to be in communication with the High Command to ensure that officers in the JCF do prepare these written plans. And we have, for the last few months, instituted a questionnaire which, at the end of a planned operation where death results, where the investigator, the director here at INDECOM, and the superintendent can sit down and go over the way in which the operation was conducted to see whether it was conducted compliant with JCF doctrine.
Meanwhile, Mr. Williams has expressed that INDECOM is concerned about the high number of incidents involving firearm discharge. These are incidences where shots are fired, but there are no proven cases of death or injury, and there were no threats to life.
We have asked the JCF to continue their internal education on, because their rules prohibit firing of warning shots on most occasions, prohibit the firing on most occasions at a vehicle, and of course, as Cabinet has explained, the firing of gun salutes is of course prohibited, certainly by the JCF and by private firearm holders. These are areas that we are continuing to scrutinize, and to look at, because the risk of death is very high any time a firearm is fired. And those who hold firearms must act in a way which is prudent and mature regarding the use of those firearms. And we'll continue to look at that in this new year.